What is up, everybody? It's me, RDV, and I'm here with, well, not Zach, because Zach decided he doesn't want to do Tuesdays anymore. At least that's the impression I get. Because tonight, Zach decided he was going to the big city to watch the symphony. What happened to our boy?
Well,
he's attending rich boy events now. He's like Bruce Wayne, charity events and all that stuff.
He has a life.
Yeah, right? A life, not a wife. I could see. But hey, Art, what's up? Are you gonna stick around through the whole entire thing this time, or are you just gonna say goodbye? It seems to be like your catchphrase. Hey, what's up? And I'll catch you later. What's up? The one's like, dude, Marania Suckerbit. Some of the Barbarella alternate covers are not safe for work or YouTube, or even your parents' eyes. I'll put that in. If you can't show your comic book cover to your parents, shouldn't you be buying it? I don't know. His girlfriend has him on a short leash. She doesn't even need a leash. I'm still in school, so I'm busy. Okay, that makes sense. You know. What's up to Theo Dragon watching over on Twitch? That's right. We are streaming on Twitch as well on YouTube at the same time, but I do recommend if you are following us on Twitch and you have not followed us on YouTube to do that. So right now, click the like button, go to subscribe on YouTube, and you'll get all our access to our back issues. Sorry, not back issues, but like back videos, backlog. I was looking at Twitch. If I want to pay like $20 a month, then I'll have like a whole like 60 days worth of backlog people are able to watch and stuff. And versus where I'm doing the free version, so you only get like so many days, and then they delete the videos because they can't, because so many people are streaming on there, they can't handle the bandwidth, so they delete everything. Where YouTube just keeps everything forever. So it's like if YouTube's like Facebook, anything you put on there, they have access to it now, and it's theirs. But what's up, Mark McGrath? Look forward to this every week. Thanks for doing the show, dude. I like seeing you, Mark, because I obviously sometimes I don't see you there, and I wonder, it's like it's like what's going on? It's like, is he busy? Or has he just found another channel that does a top 5? Have you betrayed us? But yeah, honestly, like I enjoy this. It gives me a chance to hang out, brain, and talk comic books, and also have you guys here too, and just see what you guys are coming up. Because you guys always see what we're getting, or our top 5. But I'd love to see in the chat what your top 5s are, what you guys are looking forward to this week. That being said, I'll share my screen. We'll get this going here. But alrighty. And also, if you guys haven't checked out our past readings we've done here, every Wednesday and Saturday night, we've been releasing the Batman Dark Victory issues, which are the second chapter of Long Halloween. If you like that. Alrighty. So, Mr. Breen, I'll let you go. You obviously have a top 5, right?
I do.
Okay, cool.
My number 5 is Barbarella.
Nice. Blake Northcott book.
And that's why it's number 5 and not even with your money.
How far is it down? I may have passed it up. There it is.
Yeah, the other Barbarella series have ranged from boring as hell to SJW as F. AF, as the kids say. But when I found out Blake Northcott was doing this,
honestly, yeah. I think it'll have more of a story than I heard this being a trot, or
Well, it's not. No, it's. I mean, I say this was another one of those properties that got SJW.
Yep.
And that's not the kind of character that I didn't. I don't know exactly what they did to her, but I said it apparently it wasn't fun.
Here it is. I was trying to find the artist is Anna Morozova. She's the interior artist. This is her variant cover she's doing. So you get a preview of her art. So gives you a chance to hey, I may not get it because I don't like the art. No. But I thought it's pretty detailed for the artist. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
My thing is if you can make the main character look like, well, probably can't because of rights. Probably I was gonna say like make it look close to Jane Fonda. because she's right. It was Jane Fonda, right, in the movie.
Yes.
I never
Yes.
watched it, so I also have never watched what was that one with Peter Weller? Um, Bonanza, whatever, Banzai, Buckaroo
Buckaroo
Bonanza.
Banzai.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I watched like maybe a scene out of it. And I saw I think Jeff Goldblum's in it.
I've never seen it either. So it's,
Yeah, and so I was just saying, there's just kind of feels like these movies like I've never seen, but like I know that they're taking some of these sci-fi movies and giving them comic book properties, and I imagine some of these are like Barbarella. It might have been a book before it became a movie, and then now it's
well, this was the inspiration for something that you've read hundreds of issues of.
yeah, which would be Vampirella, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I was wondering, it kind of reminds me of Vampire a little bit. A little bit different though. Like I said, that's the one thing I do appreciate though when we get to these books. So they actually do. I try to see if the interior artist has a variant cover, because if I've never heard of you, I want to know what your art looks like. And instead of me Googling, I'm glad that they actually they give the person a variant cover so you can see. Because sorry, I like Michael Linzer cover, but every character looks like Dawn.
I don't like Michael Linzer. Joseph Michael, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I've never liked his art.
I like when he does. No, see, I like his art when he does his own stuff, but when he tries to draw other people's IP stuff, I don't like that. So, because if he just wants to draw fantasy stuff, but if he's trying to draw Red Sonja, Vampirella, or even Vampirella, I don't like his stylized version of it. But my thing is that they think that his is the best cover, so they made his cover A.
Well, he's one of the top cover artists in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the minority. I just don't care for his art.
I mean, I do like the sci-fi thing. That's cool. The back, I think the background's more impressive than the girl.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's I mean, I don't dislike it. It's just I'm not one of those people that go, oh man, just Michael Linzer cover. It's great.
There are people who do that though. They love his covers. Yeah, and they don't care about the book.
That's why he's maybe the number one cover artist in the business.
And then there's Rachel Holland, who's on every single cosplay cover for Dynamite, whether it's Red Sonja, Vampirella, now Barbarella again. So,
by the way, Sasha from Casualty Comics, had both Blake Northcott and Anna Morozova.
Yeah.
On a podcast yesterday.
Does Morozova, does she sound Russian?
I think she's definitely foreign. I couldn't place the accent.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think that Anna Morozova, I'm like, that might be Brazilian or it might be actually Russian. It sounds more Russian, Morozova. But it would be if it was actually, in fact, take it back. If it was Russian, it'd be like Morozovich. Let's go on the chat. It says Art says I kind of like it. I don't like it, but not so much. I'll be honest. Mark Gath, both Jeff Goldblum and John Lithgow are in Buckaroo Bonanza. Well, wow, I did not know John Lithgow's in there. Small world. The one kind of looks like Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah. So, I'm guessing you mean the cosplay variant. Brain's like, who's Sabrina Carpenter?
I know who she is.
I was gonna say she pops up on Twitter a lot. People are sharing her photos.
It's like her. I think didn't she make that video with the chick that plays Wednesday, where they're just killing each other throughout the video?
Yeah, that was her. That's funny. All right, but yeah. So first off, saving the universe. Yeah, she works for a big. From being in. I'm not going to say the word here, enslaved. I meant it should be indentured servitude by self-proclaimed gods. In Barbarella, the center cannot hold. Barbs and Vix are ready for a little R&R, but they're about to discover that not all pleasure planets are created equal. In fact, some are downright unreal. Meanwhile, in another quadrant of the galaxy, something is out with the Earth's oldest and most venerable.
Venerable.
Wouldn't she be vulnerable?
No.
Oh. Something that only Barbarella's uniquely well-rounded skills can resolve. Yeah, I noticed in the past writing stories, like she seduces she's always sleeping with somebody, and then she had like the weird angel guy with them. I was like, I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be accurate to the character or if that was just SGD trope. We're here to be promiscuous, everybody. Like I never watched the movie, so I that's one of the reasons I kind of like dipped out of the previous one with Dynamite. Because don't get me wrong, the covers are great, but the interior is like it's all cheesecake, but there's no story. And all, I don't know. So apparently, Anna Morozova has worked on Judge Dredd 2000 AD, and then Braille for Dummies. All right, cool. Alrighty then. What do we got here? Mark is saying Justice Society of America number 12 is his number 5 this week. It's on my poll list. It's not on my top 5. My number 5 this week. Oh, I have to scroll down because that's just the way this goes. All the good stuff is towards the bottom. Conan, Battle of the Black Stone, number 2. Haunted by the shadows and living nightmares, connected to a mysterious eye symbol etched in black stone, and unspeakable evil looms over the Hibernian age and every age connected to it. And it will take more than a lone barbarian to stop its relentless march upon time, space, and sanity. Basically, this is the new Conan event. So, which is great about this, we got Solomon Kane on the cover right away with Conan doing some battle. This is a big crossover time and space event. So you're bringing some characters in, and they're basically gonna create I guess the Conan League. I don't know. I'll just say this: it'll probably be more epic than Savage Avengers. So. Jonas Scharf is doing it, and there's no alternate cover. This is what you get for $4. Crazy, right? Robert Della Torre, he's done some covers for Conan in the past, but I think he also did some work on Tarzan, didn't he?
Not sure.
That's familiar. I always see the guy with the Yankee hat. That's why. So, you know what? If you just glance and squint your eyes a little bit, Jim Zub looks like Joe Corolla.
I don't see it.
I don't know. Maybe he's just got those dreamy eyes like Joe. Maybe that's what it is. All right. Yeah, so that's my number 5 this week. I've been really liking that. Jim Zub even liked my reply to the Conan official on Twitter. They have one for Conan. And they asked you like, they said like, most people like think Tulsa Doom is Conan's worst enemy, and I said it's bad writers. Thank God for Jim Zub. So Jim Zub's like it's awesome. Yeah. Oh. All right, that was my number 5. What is your number 4, sir?
My number 4 is Hyde Street.
Ironically, that's what Mark's said. His number 4 is Hyde Street.
I just saw that.
With Slash Redcoat. He can't decide. He likes them both. But Hyde Street is a new one coming out by through Skybound. And we saw a little preview of that in the little Skybound X, or not Skybound X, but the one that was after Skybound X. They had their little preview thing for Ghost Machine. Yeah. And yeah. Let's see here. A new Epic Aaron Character Center order begins. Ghost Machine launches Hyde Street, the newest ongoing series from the creators Jeff Johns, Ivan Reyes. Every city and town off every country road and Metropolis Avenue. If you make a wrong turn, you might find yourself on Hyde Street. But be careful who you talk to and what you do, because the consequences make death itself seem an easy way out. Introducing Mr. X-Ray, Pranky, the world's most dangerous scout, Miss Goodbuddy, and many more. Honestly, I wonder if this might be the new Creep Show or the new EC books as far as the horror books, because that would be kind of cool if you actually like Jeff Johns put the effort in there and actually does like what they used to do with like Tales of the Crypt and stuff like that. You get like 3 stories, 40 pages for $4.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Because if that is, you're gonna see a lot of people flocking to this book, because it's been a while since we've actually got a good like horror book that wasn't using modern politics or just being downright just boring. So Plus, Ivan Rice is on here. Danny Meeke, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lay. So, and there's here you go. Here's the Gary Frank version. So, with the monkey on the head, that's cool. Look at all the people behind him. Ace. What else we got here too? And then we have the Boy Scout one. This is the Kelly Jones variant. Once again, kind of creepy. Mike Diodato did a cover here. That's cool. I still like the black and white one here too.
Oh wow! See the bottom one?
Yeah, I did see it. I'll get in there. But I always like sketch like this. But the bottom one, right here.
Yeah.
The 1-800 homage.
What is that? They're homaging themselves. That's Blackest Night.
Oh, okay. That's what. Okay, I never read Blackest Night. I wasn't into DC at the time when they were doing the Brightest Day and Blackest Night. I just remember all the rings coming out. So people had you could at the shops, you could have all the rings. But that is cool though. Different characters on the gland. Oh, that is cool. It's 1-100. So you better order 100 copies. I mean, honestly, this would have came out in the early 2000s. I could see shops ordering 100 of these. Even before that, because nowadays, I feel like shops are afraid to order more than 20.
Maybe 30 years ago.
Well,
no, 30 years ago was even. You have to go back farther than that.
Yeah, 40.
Early 90s. No, early 90s.
Yeah, because I feel like today's shops are afraid to do more than 20 books.
Well, you can't blame them because
yeah.
I don't know that this will sell that many in any single shop.
But yeah, now I do see the Blackest Night because I didn't realize that the number one of your first issue, and then you see this. Yeah, that I was because the coins threw me off. I didn't see that part. I was looking at this part, and I was like, oh, so that's cool. All right, aren't Conan and Tarzan pretty much the same thing? Well, Conan is more of a barbarian. It's set in the ancient barbarian times, Tarzan is the 30s, right? 20s or somewhere there.
He was created in the 20s or early 30s. I think.
Yeah. So he's a guy that grew up on an island there, and he's so he's still in the modern world. Kind of, got a sense where Conan was basically before the medieval age, there was a barbarian age, So I guess you'd say the caveman age, or shortly after the caveman age.
I don't know.
Iron Age. Kind of. Yeah. Ask a historian. But yeah, I was lonely on Twitch. It's okay. I do appreciate you tuning in on Twitch, because I know that sometimes YouTube does not give us guys notifications. So do make sure that you are subscribed. I do notice that a lot of people have not clicked all notifications on, as far as people are subscribed to this channel. I know it's probably not only the people here, absolutely, but I mean, we've over 700 people now to shop, but it's only 10% of the people that are actually subscribed to the channel do not have the little bell to get the notifications clicked. So I don't blame them. I mean, if you're following 20 people, even 3 counts, and they're all posting stuff every day, you're bombarded by stuff. So, all right. So that was my number. That was my number. No, that was your number. Actually, that was your number 4. So my number 4 is another book that's coming out. They're in issue 3 now. Scroll down a little bit, and we'll get there. All right. It is Nemesis Rogues Gallery, issue number 3. Every time I see this cover, I just love it. Upside down. Look at that city down there. I love that landscape.
That city.
Yeah, I know, right? It reminds me of the old the Hong Kong city they had that was walled in. they use for the basis for Judge Dredd. Say Conloon, I think it is. But yeah. Nemesis. Yeah, basically we learn now he's got a sidekick, called the Rookie. And so now what's going to happen is you got these consequences when four fathers of the slaughtered kids get together with super technology, decide to take him down hard. So I hope there's still some resistance, but I think I would. The Rookie's gonna it's gonna be his test to take down. He's gonna take down the guys with ease. But only as a black and white cover, which is a 1 in 10, which is that bad. Yeah, looking forward to this, man. I mean, I'm curious to where this is going to end because Big Game. It took Big Game for him to be taken down. A bunch of them heroes, So, who's going to stop the Nemesis? If he's the villain, who's the hero? And will there ever be a hero in his stories? Because I know in the original series, the original one, that people didn't like either. It was a James Gordon type that took him down. So, alrighty then. That was my number 4. What is your number 3, sir?
My number 3 is Redcoat.
All right, and it looks like Get Fury is Mark's number 3. All good books. Yeah, I saw this cover. So what? I feel like I take over. So what?
No, you're more than welcome to. I like this. I like this format. It allows me to keep an eye on the game.
Well, because sometimes I feel like we just feel like, oh, this is my this, and we don't really explain what's drawing us back to these issues. Sometimes because I forget I skip over because I'm watching the time too to make sure we're done. On time, but yeah, like Redcoat. I mean, I personally love it because it's a new concept. It's Albert Einstein being a sidekick to basically a guy. He was a redcoat. He was a turncoat, and he got these crazy like cultists that want his powers. He wasn't supposed to give. He was supposed to go to Benjamin Franklin, and it's like he was betrayed by Benedict Arnold, of all people. I know, right? You're led to be it was like somebody else, but it turned out to be Benedict Arnold all along. Yeah, we don't need Agatha. We got Benedict Arnold.
But now it looks like they're gonna have to team up again.
Yep.
To take on the Grand Architect.
Yeah. So the fate of America rests entirely in Simon Pure's immortal hands. Though he'd rather drop it and run, Simon, Benedict Arnold, and 13-year-old Albert Einstein face off against the hooded cult master, the Grand Architect. Will Simon risk his immortality to save Einstein?
You meant the cult governor, of course.
I know. It's just weird. It's like even that word cult master. It's not even a real. I don't think that's even a real word. They just put it together. Why don't they call it the Master of Cults?
I don't know.
The hooded Master of Cults would sound so much better. Give it Starfire treatment. That's what I say. It's Man of Cults. Yeah. Like I said, this has been a fun series. Some people are not into it. I'm like, this gives me not only gives me a good story and like a history kind of thing. I love history, especially European history or American history. I like learning about it. So when it comes to like historical, whether it's fantasy or just drama periods, I love those kind of stuff. So that's another plus, But overall, it's like I get the Go-Go checks, man. Like I love Go-Go checks. I like that story. It's just been entertaining and fun. So Brian Hitch is doing some art here too. Andrew Curry. This actually has more than just one variant. You usually have let me cover it in another variants. So I get them here. Paul Revere behind him, or George Washington, I think it's supposed to be. Can't remember. Looks like George Washington on a horse, but usually it's Paul Revere running around. And then we have the Gabriel Rodriguez variant. Yeah. That looks more like a Deadpool, doesn't it? Pose?
I don't know.
With the guns crossed like this? Unless you're. He's got a future gun, or it's not. Well, it's some kind of gun. He's got the shotgun. He's got the. It'd be cool, like sometimes they do the variants where he actually has like a bunch of guns, and he'll still have like a musket. So, yeah, looking forward to this, man. This is fun. This is your lighthearted comedy, plus action, suspense, history stuff. So, alrighty. All right, I'm on to my number 3. Let's see here. Get down to see what's in the chat going on, guys. What's up? Conan Battle of the Black is your number. Ooh, your number 1 for Mark. His number 2 is Nemesis. So he's liking it. ERB made so much money off Tarzan. There was a town called Tarzania. He basically funded. This was before corporations figure out how to rob creators. Nice. Yeah, and I get you're talking about the Nemesis. Kind of looks like Sin City a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to that comment, but my number 3 for me is actually it's a Marvel book, and it's a throwback book. Oh, a story takes place in the throwback. It is Wolverine Deep Cut. Claremont and it's Salazar in here too, the arts, and here's Salazar. Well, Sabretooth, Sinister, slicing and dicing. Mr. Sinister makes his own plans known. Sabretooth strikes. The alliance leads to a knockdown, drag-out fight, and like the witch, will alter Wolverine's plans with the X-Men. The grand finale of Chris Claremont's Untold Wolverine epic. And I think this takes place during when the X-Men were known to be dead. I think this might be after Mutant Massacre, where they're brought back to life, or I don't know how that worked out, but the world thinks that they're dead. That's when that takes place right around that time. And seeing Wolverine and Sabretooth team up, it's I feel like there should be a Deadpool in there. But I like Sinister being a villain, so Francisco Mana variant. Hey, we got the curvy claws again. And a weird looking Sabretooth. So, alrighty though. That is my number 3, sir. What is your number 2?
A second here. My number 2 is Nemesis, Rose Gallery number 3, which we already talked about. So I feel like we're going to be crossing over again here soon.
We will be soon because Redcoat was my number 2. Fun series. We talked about that. Number 1 for me is it should be yours. We'll scroll down to it and I'll find out. Is this your number 1, sir?
Why, yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Get Fury, number 6. I mean, how could you not want this? You got the great kind of font here on the side here. Looks like a movie quality. And the last stand of Frank Castle and Nick Fury. But I mean, just look at that. That's awesome. He's got the 2 guns firing. It's epic. And there's no variant cover. There's no freaking variant cover. I love this. It's the end of the series. You thought things were looking bleak and rough last issue? You're right, but things get worse for our heroes. As I was just saying, I'm worried about those CIA guys. The base that tried to bump off Frank Castle and Nick Fury. I think they're gonna end up in a coffin.
Yeah, I think in between issues 5 and 6 they went shopping for red shirts.
Right. Because the last we saw, they're gonna get to the helicopter. Only the basically that they run into the military guys, army guys. They're basically gonna try and shoot them, kill them, and there's gonna be a lot of bullets. There's gonna be a lot of blood, a lot of gore, and it's gonna be Punisher and Nick Fury. And the reason I call him Punisher because no matter what you call him, he's always gonna be Punisher. The way he's written, especially with Garth Ennis, always writes him as Punisher, even though he goes by Frank. In this thing, but I think, yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to this. Jason Burrow's art has been it's been a pleasure to just to view all the gore and the mayhem, the expressions on the faces, and then I'm worried. I was say this. I am worried about that guy. He's been doing the narration, the flashback story. Like, do you think like Castle or Nick Fury is going to show up and just pop him in the head?
No.
At the end, because was he not one? He was. I thought, because I'm trying to figure out who the guy was. It's been a while, so I think that's the guy that Frank was supposed to kill. The one, but he survived. The general.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Frank will finish the job.
No, I don't think so.
But either way, though, Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows are like the dream team when it comes to stuff at Marvel. I like looking at their stuff they put out. Yeah, looking forward to this. Anytime I can get it, and it sucks. It's only a 6-issue miniseries. I wish it was like a 12 at least, maxi. I would enjoy it more, because I feel like Garth Ennis can do a 12-issue story, but I don't know. I think he's kicking ass. I mean, I remember like when I got back into comic books, he came out with Soviet Punisher. That was awesome, and he's just going strong no matter what he writes. So, yep, that is it for our top 5, man. What else we got going on here too?
A couple things that are coming out. Well, something in particular is coming out tomorrow. It's called Cryptology. It's the new magazine from Tomorrow's.
Yes, yep. That is coming out. There's also a back issue as well too. I was just gonna look at the chat real quickly, see what's going on there. 16 Dude says I have 3 this week. Yes, so Wolverine was on my list. My dad and my mom are actually watching Deadpool and Wolverine right now. Awesome. Undead Quinn says he only has 1 this week. I Hate Fairyland, number 16. You're still going with that, man. I must be a really good book. The cover B, Scotty Young, Fairyland variant. And 162 says I'm going with Red Coat, Get Fury, and Battle Action 2. What is Battle Action? I'll look that up here. But yeah, you guys could skip the storm. Plastic Man, Night Watcher. Oh, that's just an internal thing. I'm curious though, see what that Battle Action. I've never even heard of that before. Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. Have you missed him? The Marvel Voices special. Is it Hispanic month or something?
Actually, it is.
Is it? I don't know anymore because I don't watch WWE wrestling.
Well, you can tell what month panders to whom by the comics that Marvel and DC produce. Although DC's a little understated this year. I think they did a whole Hispanic. Remember the whole Hispanic thing when they had who was it? One of the Green Lanterns carrying a bag of tacos, Jessica Cruz. Yeah, they got crushed for that.
Have you checked out this? The Creeping Below?
No, I don't even know what it is.
It's Brent Azzarello story. Vanessa R. Del Rey and Hillary Jenkins. Nature, there are gods older than the devil. Nothing can prepare you for what's coming of the violent electronic descent in this bloody black metal-infused revenge saga. Valiant American metalhead attending a festival and also begins her numerous pilgrimage to the past depths of vengeance. After victimization at the hands of a vile local band, the old gods of Norse mythology guide her along her path in the name of women everywhere. Will she walk warrior's path or become a behemoth behind a human recognition? So, yeah. May have
Okay, so
kid to a swamp thing or the but by the way of the crow. Yeah.
yeah, so she was victimized by a bunch of
Yep.
white men, probably wearing red hats, saying this is MAGA country. Got it.
But the funny thing is, it's Brian Azzarello. I didn't think he would write something like that, though. Is he? I didn't know. I think he was far left.
I think he was. I think he's the one that wasn't he the one that wrote the Vax story in the first issue of Epitaphs from the Abyss?
Might have been. I know he was on the book. I didn't read the stories though. So if he did that, okay, yeah, then I guess it's in with his wheelhouse. Scooby Doo still going strong. 130. I like Popeye. Oh yeah, the crow's out too. You might get that. Best. I was looking at this Werewolf of Frankenstein edition, but it's like Zombie Love Studios. I haven't heard of that. Night of the Slashers by Magma Comics. Yeah. Here he is. Battle Axe right here. Oh, it's Garth Ennis. Was this like on delayed forever? Because I remember this last year. There's something like this, a Battle Action. It's Volume 3, Issue 2. Johnny Red story. Final Johnny Red story continues after reunites Johnny with the pilot who got him kicked out of the RAF at the very beginning of his aviation career. Officer, he requests Johnny's help on a dangerous mission for remotely to determine the world's outcome. First out of how wars will be fought in the 20th century. Features John Wagner and Dan Cornwell. Oh, but not Cliff Cornwell. No.
And yeah, that was Azzarello that wrote that. So that's a hard pass. So I said I've liked one thing he's ever done, and now, you know, after reading that story, I don't even want him to revisit that again because he did for a Brother Lono miniseries. I'd be afraid to I'm afraid of what he'd come up with now.
Dude, every time I say look at John Wayne, first it pops in as the old man from Pawn Stars.
So did you find Cryptology?
I'm looking through it.
I was trying to find information on that story, so I wasn't paying attention.
Back issue. Yeah, it's right here.
There we go.
Yeah. It's on my list for poll stuff this week. So it looks good cool. Greetings, yeah. Help a Tomb Raider from the Tomb Raider Peter Normanton. I exhumed the worst horror comics access from the 1950s killer bee movies to die for, and the creepiest, kookiest toys that had crossed your bony little fingers as a child. But wait, do you dare enter the house of Usher or choose sides in the skirmish between the Addams family and the Munsters? Can you stand at the end to gaze at worn magazine front pieces by this issue's cover artist Bernie Wrightson? Or spend some hammer time with that city's most frightening films? And if the Atlas pre-code covers or terrifying science fiction are more than you can take, stay away. All this and more in this lurching tutorial in tomorrow's publishing latest and most decrepit magazine just for retro horror fans, and feature my henchman Will Murray, Bart Vogler, Barry Forshaw, Tim Lees, Pete Von Shawley, and Steve and Michael Kronberg. Honestly, that looks cool.
Yes, it does.
Dude, like I said, 1950s, but then, you know, Atlas, as they say, Atlas pre-code covers exhumed. And then, that thing was like, when they talk about the horror movies by Hammer Films, that intrigued me the most. 80 pages for $11. Brendan Wrightson does a cover in here too. So if you're not picking these up, this is the very first issue, worth collecting. So all right. So let's go over the trades. All right. Catwoman Trail of the The Catwoman by Darwin Cook and Ed Brubaker. I'm not a Darwin Cook fan, but it's $10. $10, and it's Brubaker writing it. It's Catwoman. I'm a sucker for Catwoman. I like Catwoman stories. This is collects Catwoman Selena's Big Score, Catwoman 1 through 9, and backup stories from Detective Comics 759 and through 762 for $10, man. Like I said. So the synopsis basically is says for years Single Kana is proud the skyline of Gotham City. They're not gonna do it this time. Okay. As its most famous thief, Catwoman. But the word spreads of Catwoman's demise, Selena decides to leave the costume world behind and continue her trade cloaked in the shadows. Able to enjoy her newfound anonymity for too long, though, Selena decides that she must return to her infamous persona, donning a new costume and attitude. Catwoman returns to the streets and decides on a serial killer that has been preying upon the people she calls friends. So they're responsible for her getting the goggles thing like this new costume.
Okay.
Before that, she had the purple one, right?
A couple things. It's anonymity. And
you know what? I don't care if you don't like the way I say things.
The people she calls what?
She calls her anonymity friends.
No. What's that last line again? Upon the people what?
Upon the people she calls and friends, okay?
That's better. If you don't have synchronicity between the shows on this channel, then why have a channel?
We don't want canonity. Cantiduity.
Cantiduity?
Yeah, yep, cantiduity. Can't gonna do it. But no, honestly, $10. These are scores. I've been collecting these because I usually don't get trades, and trades are usually like $20. And
these are those smaller ones, though.
Yep, they look compact.
Yeah. For
336 pages for $10. So like you're getting a decent size thing, so in little compacts. And honestly, I'm surprised it took DC this long to do it. Marvel's been doing the little version of the Epic Massive collections they've been doing. Those have been fun, cheap.
So. No, it's actually the Masterworks that they've condensed.
Which, honestly, I've been picking. I don't usually pick up the Masterworks because look ugly ass covers on the hardcover ones. So
I disagree. I think they've had 4 different cover designs.
I always see the gray ones or the gold ones.
Gray ones. I love the gray ones.
They're never full screen. I want the full picture. I don't want the little photo frame.
That's the idea. They're supposed to look like you have pictures in the museum.
I know, but I'm like, I don't want that though.
Well, what difference does it make once it goes on the shelf and all you can see is the spine?
I want to pull it out and have it look pretty. I don't have it look like a little thing. So. All right.
Keep scrolling.
You want to keep scrolling?
Scrolling.
Move in, move out. Hands up or hands down. Keep scrolling. Sorry. I was watching clips of the American Badass, The Undertaker. American Vampire Book 1. Very, very good series. One of probably my favorite Scott Snyder series going all the way through. Seeks the Landing. Moon Knight, a hardcover by Judd McKay, omnibus. I already have all the issues, otherwise I'd get it. What else we got here? Kaiju number 8 is a new manga coming out. I didn't put any of the filters on here, so we're gonna get a lot more books this week, more manga between here. But Animal Man by Grant Morrison compendium. Volume 7 on my I Hate Fairyland. So Ninja Turtles, Reborn, Godzilla coming out again, Marvel Years omnibus. On the covers, Epic Man, or I say Epic Man, Iron Man Epic Collection, Age of the Innocents. And then Suicide Squad, Kill Arkham Asylum. Then not only that, they have the compact version of this, but here comes the actual full version.
There are 3 different covers for that Godzilla omnibus.
Isn't it funny?
Wow.
So Yeah, that's right. Fantasy 4 Full Circle Expanded edition hardcover. Is that? Is this the? Oh, yeah, it is Alex Ross. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I liked it. I don't like it enough to upgrade.
Yeah. We also got Wanted and Big Game Library Edition hardcover being released this week. So my understanding is probably going to have all the issues of Wanted and all the issues of Big Game. Yeah. Yep. Collects Wanted Big Game comic book series. Yep. $60, 306 pages. Now that's kind of interesting because they give you Wanted, which is the first part, which started all this, and then you get Big Game, which is like it is a continuation of everything. So like that starts the end. That's cool. And then we have Blacking Out with Keanu Reeves, which is gonna be Chip Moshner and Peter Krause. I don't recognize the other names, but disgraced ex-cop Conrad seeks redemption by unraveling an unsolved murder during Southern California's fire season. Conrad follows a lone clue, a discarded crucifix, to unravel the death of the Karen Littleton, whose body was found amid a blaze that scorched 10,000 acres. The search leads in the clash with the victim's father and the prime suspect, Robert Littleton, as well as hostile former colleagues on the local police force, as well. Conrad combats his consuming alcoholism and fading faculties. Wow. Questionable methods lead him to a murder, or will a grizzled detective be brought to his knees by heartbreak and addiction? Find on this all-new edition of Blacking Out, a scorching crime noir comic set in a small town in dry California desert. I guess left on a mission is who Chip Mosher is, and then artist Pete Krause of the Power of Shazam. Okay. And also did Redeemable. So like you got a good artist. And then you have the colorists who worked on Django Unchained and Scalped, and then letters from Eric, or I know not Eric, but Ed Dukeshire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Ballistic. That's funny when they credit like that. Check out, we got this really awesome letterer. Like that, I've never seen that before in a description. $20 though, 64 pages, and what looks like Keanu Reeves on the cover. So I don't know. Okay, I think I should go. Would you be okay with that? Hey, man, Art, do what you need to do. Like I said, I appreciate you being here and showing up. I mean, and if you're watching the replay, watch the replay. Like you don't have to be here live every single time, but I do appreciate you guys who watch stuff on replay. Batman Legacy Call Deluxe Edition hardcover is out this week, but there's no cover. It's missing. I don't know why it's missing, but that's coming out this week, and it just says 140 pages, $50. That's all it is. So, is it not coming out this week? I don't know, but that yeah. Hellboy, we got Captain America on this Volume 2, which also has an awesome variant. It was right here.
Well, that was a cover.
I know. I know. It's just a joke. Because that looks way too modern, and then this is awesome. When they break up, Gone by
you know who they team up with to fight the Red Skull?
Spider-Man.
When I was a boy.
Oh, Kingpin, really? Yep. Nice. The Killing Joke has a new one, but as I was talking to somebody else about this, all this is basically art, original art print.
Huh.
By Brian Boland. $225. If you got lying around, it's good. Wesley Snipes Exiled, which is an okay story. It was a good sci-fi story. A lot of homage covers to like different movies and stuff. Cannibal #3 from Ablaze. Then we got Blasphemous Direct Market Exclusive Edition. Downloads hardcover by Titan. Image, Scary Godmother. This was your childhood. Okay. Said we're getting some of the weird stuff. I don't know why it's not loading. Here it goes. All right. All right. So Alice Cooper, Crossroads. Through Dynamite. We got Saint Swarm by Dark Horse. I think it's Steve Niles on this. Negaduck. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1 comes out this week. Mm-hmm. So if you missed the first issue, and you're missing out because it's sold out, there you go. Then we just got some other weird stuff. Farscape 25th Anniversary Hardcover Edition. For Boom Studios. It's not loading though. There's all different kinds. There's Slipcase Edition, 25th Anniversary, and there's no cover coming soon.
Well, better be pretty soon if it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, right? But hey, anytime I get Farscape collected in comic form, that's kind of cool. Star Wars, Doctor Who, a lot of manga. Rick and Morty Deluxe, Star Wars manga. Fall of X. No one cares. Manga. X-Men, and that's it.
Wow, that's
depressing.
Well, I mean, no, I'm glad because there's nothing that I want.
Yeah.
That I don't already have, so that's.
Yeah, like I said, like the only thing I'm looking for is the Darwin Cook Catwoman, and I'm only getting because it's compact, but it's $10. So.
Yeah, like I said, I'm
not the biggest fan of Darwin Cook's art. I know
it
it
would have been my choice to be on that book, but he can't change it. So you just kind of make the best of it. Yeah, he's very good at what he does. So the stories will flow. It'll just
or he was very good. Sorry, because he's like tense.
Yeah.
But Alice, if you see Alice Cooper Crossroads, don't read it. Or if you see it seems it's kind of mid. John Wick, hello. What else we got here? Boom Studios Farscape 25th Anniversary. If I don't have it now, get the trade. Honestly, if I see it in my shop, sure, that's one thing. I'm still waiting on my shop. I'm supposed to be getting the Triangle Era omnibus coming out. It came out last week or a week ago, or it might be 2 weeks before I think about now. But it's supposed to come in my shop, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's probably gonna be like a big tome. So I'm thinking like a big omnibus. What does the Age of Innocence cover issue wise?
I'm gonna guess that's the 300s.
Was that a trade or is that a?
That was Epic Collection.
Oh, the Iron Man. Okay,
yeah.
That's okay. Let me look. Look. Yeah, and so the obviously saw the variants come out this week. Is the X-Men book where the girls' night out. The one you guys say is miles better than the Leah Williams one. Yes,
244.
Yeah, so that's coming out this week, and also I think it's the final issue of Secret Wars with Doctor Doom, right?
Or I think that was number 10.
Yeah, the one with Doom messed up on the cover.
There are two after that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's coming out this week. Let's see here when we go here. We come with the Iron Man book, right, Marania? Age of Innocence. Volume 22 and the Epic Collections. One of the most devastating Iron Man stories ever told is Tony Stark was forced to betray the Avengers. This covers Iron Man 325 or 332. Number 23 of War Machine. Avengers Time Slide, number 1. Then Avengers 395 or 396. Age of Innocence, the Rebirth of Iron Man, number 1, which came out in 1996. Onslaught, Marvel Universe, number 1 from 1996. And Iron Man, The Legend, number 1 from 1996. So a lot of stuff in the 1996, 90s. Terry Kavanaugh, Bob Harras or Harris, whatever you prefer. Dan Abnett. Then the colorist is Malibu. And Mark Waid's got a story in there too. So that is going for money. That's going for basically $45 for 488 pages. It says, with Iron Man revealed as traitor in the midst of the Avengers, turned to a younger Tony Stark. But will Teen Tony join the cross-dimensional mission on when Iron Man battles Iron Man, who will prove himself invincible? Finding his way in the modern day, Teen Tony joins Captain America and Thor in a battle with the Zodiac and faces a chilling encounter with Frostbite. But young love leads to date with disaster, and when Tony's cousin Morgan Stark sets his sights on all the Iron Man armors, War Machine lends a hand. Then, as if life hasn't been tumultuous, I don't know. Life hasn't been shitty enough as it is for Charlotte. There, in Avengers, it's an end of an era with Onslaught rocks the Marvel universe. So that's what that is. Yeah. Oh no, that sounds like the Teen Tony era. Yeah, unfortunately, the best Teen Tony era was the Iron Man Armored Adventures cartoon. That was the best Teen Iron Man. But so that's that one. But all right. In 30 minutes over on I Love Comics, we'll be ranking some really cool books. Let me look again. I forget what it was. I was looking for what it was. Do you remember? It's here. I Love Comics tonight will be doing Creep Show. Or I guess, the cover says Creep Show, but it says ranking independent horror comic book covers. Go up over I Love Comics. That's going to be going live in about 30 minutes or so. And so ranking covers. You don't even have to know anything about the book whatsoever. You're just ranking if you like the cover or not, and what you give a score between 1 being worse and 10 being awesome. So if you're not subscribed over there, go check that out as well. But I think that's it for us, man. Unless somebody else has a comment in the chat. I don't think I say anything else. Last week I picked up the Superman versus Wonder Woman Treasury in the foil variant. Oh, you got the? Were you stuck with the foil variant, One Slick Dude, or you just like the foil? Because I know some people actually do like foil stuff. Obviously, I don't like the fact that it's foil because, one, it doesn't really look as cool as the normal cover, and also because I feel like foil cover is like having aluminum foil. And as far as I don't like the shininess of the color doesn't look great, and also because it's also like usually like $2 or $3 more. Oh, okay. So you do like okay, and you have the original. Yeah, my shop had it, but I was like, I'll probably read it sometime. But I've also run into the problem because I got the other one. The last one I had was the Neil Adams one that was that size, and you're running out of room for those. Like, where do I put? Like, where do I store those? Because they're bigger than a magazine. The Treasury size stuff and Treasury size books. If you're lucky, they'll fit in a short box on its side. Because I know it's always the case. But you know what I need for that? Almost for the Treasury side books, you need those boxes that your clothes come in. Fancy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You need that's what you need for the Treasury side boxes. Yeah.
Well, if you have enough, the magazine boxes you can put them. They fit in there. But if you
the other side.
Well, you need to be able to fill it, or the magazines will, or the treasuries will bend.
Yep.
Or you could just keep the magazine box on its side. Yeah, so there's
true. That's the other thing.
That's what I use.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was the point where I was like, I only have like 2. I own. I think I might have more than that because I do. I know. The treasure I do have is the Captain. These are hardcovers though, or it might be soft covers. I have the Captain America Bicentennial one, and then I have Superman and Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. And I think then the Neil Adams, the Demon, Batman one. But yeah, so like there's a lot of them. Like, so if they ever release the Superman versus Spider-Man one. That's the one I'll probably pull the trigger on it and get that.
So I guess the Treasury or a magazine box and a short box are the same length, but if you put them in one slick says he puts them in a short box.
Yeah.
But if you put them in a magazine box, they fit all the way, and they wouldn't be hanging out.
That's good. Because I'm worried about that when I go to put the lid on. Is the lid going to close, or is it just going to rest up?
No, you can close it.
He says he got at least about 40 of them. Whoa.
I've got 100. Close to.
I mean, giant size X-Men would be kind of cool. But I mean, I don't need it like.
No, we're talking about Treasury editions.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, aren't the giant size like FFs? Aren't those like in like?
Remember the Captain America Bicentennial Battle? That's a Treasury.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, aren't some of the other ones like that, like giant size Spider-Mans?
They've never put the only thing, like the Superman Muhammad Ali, but that was originally a Treasury.
Okay.
The Superman Wonder Woman was originally a Treasury. They don't publish stuff like giant size X-Men as a Treasury. They've never done that with individual issues because they're usually comprised 2 or 3 issues. Well, that day, if they were going to do that, they missed their opportunity.
Can you imagine if they start taking the treasures and put them in the DC compacts?
It would pretty much defeat the purpose because most of them are
I know.
filled with reprints of things that were already comic book size.
Yeah.
And they've done the first Superman Spider-Man has been done in comic book size also.
Has it? Oh,
yes.
I did not know that. I wonder how much that goes for. So they probably only printed it like one time.
I don't know how many there are of those.
There are new Treasury size books too. Yeah. My latest, it's fine. Like, okay, that's cool. That's good to know because, like,
like I said, the ones we were talking about.
Yeah.
In the Batman that came. I think that I'm actually impressed that they are doing that in 2024.
Oh, we're bringing new treasuries.
It does make you realize how long you've been in this hobby when the last 3 things that have come out in Treasury facsimiles, I bought new.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I was buying comic books in 2003, and I'm like, and I see them, they're reprinting them now in like omnibus form, and it's just like, that's weird for me too, because like, especially when you start seeing trades that are being reprinted like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, treasuries were still big in '76 because that's the Superman Spider-Man came out I think in January of '76.
Mm-hmm.
And like that Batman that was just reprinted, that came out in '76. The Superman Muhammad Ali was '78, and that was pretty much the end of the road for the treasuries.
Marty's saying there's a trade compilation of most of the DC Marvel crossovers has been both Superman, Spidey, Batman, Hulk, and Teen Titans, X-Men, possibly a couple others. That she said I had that once.
Yeah, that's he had that in an auction. It's out of print and actually gets money, at least at the time it did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
unfortunately the odds of it ever being back in print, because you notice that the amalgam thing that was supposed to come out
never did come out.
Hit a snag.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked, about that, because I thought it was a fluke as it was, or a puff piece. And there's no, I was like, I can't see them working together on anything. Marvel or DC.
I can. They're not making money, but then again, that seems to be fine for most of them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with these companies, but eventually they probably will have to like start working.
So I said when a guy comes out and says you're not allowed to have Peter and Mary Jane get married again.
Yeah, that was BS
too. You might as well just say, I don't like money.
Yeah. Yeah, they're never gonna get married, together. It's like, well, okay, it's great. We have Ultimate Spider-Man. We're not buying any of the crappy books you're putting out. But then again, I wonder how long before people abandon Ultimate Spider-Man. It seems like whenever something gets really popular, the minute it takes a dip, people abandon ship and they bitch about it. Oh, it was never cool.
Yeah, one second. I know the ones you're talking about. There's like 4 or 5 of them. There was also a Superman meets Fantastic Four that was in that side. I don't, I guess maybe technically they are treasuries. I just always thought of them as oversized soft covers. Yeah,
Right.
I never thought of them as treasuries. But yeah, there was a Justice League. I want to say there was this. I don't have. They're upstairs. I don't have. Yep. Yeah, he's given me a couple of titles here, but it's been a long time since I've looked at them. I actually sent Jimmy a copy of the Superman Fantastic Four.
Nice. Yeah, he's just like Spirit of Truth, Liberty, and Justice. Are like, what generic books are these? Like, I've never heard any of these titles. They're like Spirit of Truth. I'm like, was that a Wonder Woman?
I think the Liberty and Justice might have been the Justice League. I think Peace on Earth might have been Superman. I said it's been a while.
But alrighty though. Yeah, like I said, my goal is to collect those giant sized Spider-Mans and some of those other ones. And even get some Spidey super stories. I love those kind of stuff. Like you get like I said, I want to be able to read something I've never read before, especially when it comes to Spider-Man. So like getting those UK like Spidey super stories, those look kind of cool. Even actually it'd be kind of cool. Like, even though I probably won't be able to understand what's going on, but getting those Spider-Man books, where they in Mexico, where they continue doing story.
I don't know why they haven't. Just get the rights, translate them, put them out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do it soon, because it's at this point it's more like by the time they straightened out the rights issues on the music to Batman with the hefty estate.
Yeah.
The amount of people that were chomping at the bit for that, a lot of it died, literally, or were seniors now, or you did get them and you got broken into and had it stolen. That's.
I mean, honestly, I'd be out for somebody to take the books themselves, scan it like they do, like all the other comic books that illegally get scanned, uploaded, and have somebody translate it. Well, because obviously you can't sell it because Marvel owns the rights to the stuff. But I mean, like, it'd be cool to see somebody actually like leak it and just show like, hey, this is these issues here. These are like and just I would love to see that, because otherwise you're never gonna see it a lot of data that unless you're able to somehow get a hold of those copies.
Yeah, Glenser, as far as I know, that was the last. As for why they don't do it now, my guess at this point it's like a Hatfields and McCoy's thing where they don't even know why they're feuding. Because there was a period in the 90s where they were both companies were getting along really well. Now, at this point, I think
it's because there's not cons on there anymore.
I wouldn't. I don't care anymore, because, like I said, I don't like. I don't like any of the Marvel core characters, how they're done today. I liked Superman and Green Lantern, but Mark Waid's a cock, so I will not buy DC. So, I don't want Leah Williams doing a crossover because they don't have any. Very few writers good enough. I would trust Mark Waid to do it, but I wouldn't buy it because Mark Waid. I think Jeremy Adams could probably do it, although he'd probably have to research the Marvel characters because I don't think he's ever written any, but I know he's read them.
I know he's a Speedball fan. He's got that for reference stuff. He's done stuff. He's I mean, Jeremy Adams and Jed McKay teaming up would be kind of cool.
Jed McKay is, Jed McKay. I hate to paraphrase Richard, but 30 years ago, Jed McKay would be doing backup books and backup stories in an annual.
You know what, though? I don't mind that because I feel like David Mitchell on Spider-Man. Those are backup stories.
No, never compared Jed McKay to David Michelini as far as writing. There is no comparison.
I always say for me, they're exactly the same. I mean, I agree, but That's my opinion. You know, like I said, I say with Howard Mackey, same thing. But
I don't. Howard Mackey is light years better than Jed McKay.
but
But that maybe that's an age thing. But
it,
yeah,
it might be. I mean, also might be because of the fact that Jed McKay is not allowed to write with their. They had more freedom back then to write more stuff than they do today.
that's actually not a bad point.
Yeah.
I don't know if he.
Because
I
Jed
maybe
McKay, I'll say Jed McKay does put in the effort to actually bring up research characters, which a lot of them do not do. A lot of the writers that
I'm
are
guessing Jed McKay doesn't have to because he's probably a comic book fan. I will give him that.
Yeah.
I said, and he's not a bad writer. I just don't think he's. I just don't think he's.
Because you'd be shocked. 'Cause remember, we talked about Jim Zub writing Conan over at Marvel. It sucked. You put him on Conan for Titan Comics, and he's miles better. Like you said, I honestly, I think Marvel has a strict about what you can and cannot do because
I'll say it because I'm basically defeating my own argument because I've said there are so many new rules in comics that these guys didn't have to follow. Because I said when Howard Mackey was writing a comic, he could put a girl in distress. Modern, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No,
said,
no.
Well, I said there because now, like I said, they used to be power fantasies for men. Now they're like revenge fantasies for women. And that's so that's because like I said when Jed McKay took over Avengers, I'm sure he was told Captain Marvel has to be the best ever. And so I will concede partially on that one.
Well, we'll never know
we won't. Unfortunately,
we'll never know. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But out of the Marvel writers currently today, I said Jed McKay is the best. Cates was doing good, but I wouldn't say Cates is overall the best they had at Marvel in the past 10 years. But I don't know. Unfortunately, we've come to the point in comic book industry where we're more excited for getting a collected trade of a better book and better writer. Yeah, we hire current stuff.
The best writer at Marvel in the last 10 years was probably Chip Zdarsky for about 3 of them. When he, the second half of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man Life Story, and Daredevil, before he remembered that he was a socialist and had Daredevil lecture Tony Stark for not giving his money to Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, and probably when Daredevil realized that he no longer would be Daredevil because a kid died, so he basically wanted, go to prison.
But for about a 3-year window, he was excellent.
Life Story is probably the best thing I've ever read by Chip Zdarsky. The Daredevil at the very beginning was okay, but it quickly became Daredevil.
It actually lasted longer than It didn't fall apart as that quickly, but it fell apart.
For me, it did.
And
it's the minute he decided I'm going to prison. I'm trying, but I'm not.
Well, no, that was farther in the run than you remember.
That's probably issue 12. Maybe, I don't know.
That was farther than that, but I think that was after the relaunch, wasn't it?
No, because I think it was the first volume he did. It was him and Churchetto. Then the second one, it became where because they had the Null story, the Venom thing, symbiote, King of Symbiotes or King of Black.
Yeah.
Then that led into the second volume of Daredevil, where he basically we had Elektra become Daredevil. Yeah, the death of Elektra again. They killed her again. But yeah, like I said, I'm more indie stuff now, so that's the state of Marvel. And this gets in because I was driven to DC, then DC drove me out, and then I'm going into indie books now. When indies kick me out, I'm going back to back issues.
And I'm glad that they're. Yeah, I'm grateful for Space Ghost and Johnny Quest and Dick Tracy and for
There
the
wouldn't be
stuff
much
that
else you'd be reading if you
for the
didn't.
stuff that Jeff Johns is doing, for the stuff Mark Millar is doing, and for you guys, I'm grateful to the Energon universe.
Yeah.
But I would trade all of those in a heartbeat
For a good
for the
Spider-Man.
big two
Yeah.
being, what I mean, I don't want to go back to.
I'll go back to the 80s. Give me the
I don't want to. I don't want to
brouhaha.
go back to the Casada era because they already did it once. It read like a really intense movie for 5 years, but I want to go back to. At this point, I want to go back to fun. Like I want everything to be written with Tom DeFalco's sensibilities.
Do you know what I'd really kill? They allow him to do what he wanted to do is to let J.D. Mateus write the blah ha ha again, and just let it do what he wants to do like that.
He couldn't do it. One simple reason: the humor came from Keith Giffen.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he was the concept guy. DeMatteis, put it into words. But yeah, Keith Giffen, you could tell. He made a joke about his death 2 days before he died.
Yeah, I remember that.
Joking about that he decided he'd rather die than go to the Baltimore Con, and he died right as it was beginning.
Yep.
That's Keith. That was Keith Giffen.
Yep.
And his kind of humor was, I said it's, and I say this as, DeMatteis, I love his writing, but like I said, that the two without one of the other, it's not there. And I'm not saying, Giffen couldn't have done it without DeMatteis.
Well, I'll just say this: maybe have Jurgens team up with him because Jurgens his blue and gold sword is pretty good.
Funny you say that, but you know who took over Justice League from the Bwahaha era?
Dan Jurgens.
Dan Jurgens. They had him there when they said, we want this to be just another comic book again.
No.
And it was good, but I love the Bwahaha era so much that I didn't want to give it up. I mean, I got cranky and it's like, and it's not that it wasn't good.
That's how I feel in reading the Superman books. It's like, the triangle era and stuff going through there.
Oh,
like, there's no way. I'm like, man, why would you go anywhere from this? And just
you have no idea how, as the '90s gave way to the 2000s into the early 2000s, Superman for me was like having a pimple that wouldn't go away, and it just kept getting bigger. And oh my God, it just. And then when Jeff Johns literally Jeff Johns and Gary Frank did a couple arcs. And Gary Frank drew him uncomfortably like Christopher Reeve with the same suit every day and the glasses falling down, the sniveling, and it just because I watched the Superman that I loved just get incrementally dismantled right back to what it was in the Silver Age, and that's what I was grateful to Jurgens and God, who was doing action? Oh no, Jurgens was doing action. Tomasi was doing Superman.
Yeah.
And for a couple of years, we got it back. And then who came all over both of them, and that was all she wrote. Until Joshua Williamson, and then Mark Waid said no, no.
You mean all he wrote, not she wrote?
No,
because there's such thing as women writers.
But I said I really did like. I'm kind of curious what's going on with Lex right now, but I can't. I said I despise that man.
I might dip back in for the Superman now that the event's over, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm worried about the whole Doomsday story. I'm not a big Doomsday fan. Like I got the Death of Superman's anniversary collection because it was all the original guys who worked on it came back.
Yeah,
and it was a new story.
And they found a clever way to do it.
Yes.
Now, but I'm with you. You and I are in agreement on that.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you top a story where the villain kills Superman and vice versa?
Yeah,
it's like that's the great thing about comics is you can get stories like that the bad thing about comics is they're the characters are in perpetuity, so
I mean,
eventually you
you
use
know,
them again. And
do you know how dumb it got to the point where Doomsday is at? And I forgot which anime or cartoon I was watching of on the Disney, or not Disney, but DC movies. There was an army of Doomsdays, and Superman just unleashes his heat vision and just wipes them out within 5 seconds because they're clones. They're not alive. They're all clones. So he just kills them all. Doesn't hesitate. And I was like, that's what basically Doomsday has become. A minor inconvenience to Clark. So like having him come back, like I don't what would even do? What's the point of that? You know, it'd be different if it was Jonathan Kent, when they were doing the whole way he was going to the multiverse and he came across a Doomsday on his own and to fight a great battle. But like I said, I don't want Doomsday Jr. versus Superman Jr. or Superboy Jr. or I don't want that either. It's like I just move on from the character, bring in some of the other villains. Jonathan Kent should have his own super villains. And don't make them legacy characters of the original villains that are already out there, like Banshee. I don't need like Banshee Junior or Parasite Junior. Like, I don't need that. Give him some other villains. If you can, I mean, obviously, the House of Ideas doesn't apply to Marvel or DC.
No, I read a Doomsday story that took place in the mid-90s, and that was they found an interesting way to bring him back. Basically, they were trying to resurrect his body so Brainiac could move into it.
Yeah,
and but like I said, just a Doomsday rampaging again.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I won't see it because douchebag's still there. So
like, well, here's my thing now. It's like if they do a Doomsday story, Doomsday's always been like a savage Hulk. Yeah, he's like a mindless Hulk. Now, if this time they gave him like a Professor Hulk version, I don't even want that. But that may make that's the only thing they haven't done with him yet is making a smart Doomsday. Because then at that point, it's like he just becomes Darkseid. It's like
more or less, yeah.
Yeah, it's like so. I don't know. I'm like, I want Superman. I want more Superman Darkseid. I mean, I like Legends. Legends was a great story with Darkseid influencing.
Mm-hmm.
We're just reading, recording more of Cheryl's and and the Marani and Amy and Melissa. We're recording the Wonder Woman from the Greg Rucka story for 2016. We're doing the year one story, and it was a retelling of basically of Wonder Woman versus Ares at the end of the final issue, and honestly, I love Ares. Like, why can't we have Superman versus Ares? Like, why don't we have something like that? I mean, apparently, they've had that would be much more entertaining. Superman versus the Greek gods, and having Diana team up with him, maybe. I don't know. It's the people that probably would have done something like that are far long gone, and I don't want Greg Rucka back on the book because I don't trust him to write a good story. I think he's too real world agenda, and I think DC just says like, here you go, son. Here, write some more Orange Man bad. I don't want that. Early 2016 Rucka was still good. The TDS hadn't killed it because those stories were written before Trump was elected. But but even then, it's like the people that would want to draw it, George Perez, man, was behind the Greek mythology stuff. Like, I don't know who you can get it, but I don't know. We'll find out. Glenzer says if Trump wins, Indy should prosper as Marvel and DC implode.
Well, that depends. So most of the vast majority of the indie creators of books that we, I said, the Millerverse won't miss a step because Mark doesn't care.
No,
I don't know what would happen to the other ones. I know Robert Kirkman could conceivably melt down.
I think he might be the next one.
He's He's very, very, very left.
As far as Kirkman goes, I think Transformers and part of the in general will be fine. I think where we might say see the falter is if they let him. I don't think Kirkman is writing. What is he writing?
I don't know that he's writing any of them.
No, as long as he's not writing, I think it'll be fine. I'm curious to see what the G.I. Joe is gonna be like. They'll team up. I forgot who was writing that for the new book. But as long as Kirkman's not writing it, I think that Energon Universe will be fine. It's just that if he decides to do another book like Invincible, at this point, I don't think Kirkman could create a big hit series if he wanted, like he did Invincible, because now he's starting to cater a little bit to that mentality, and maybe he's just doing it because that's the way you get TV deals, by greasing palms.
He's got a fortune to protect. So he has to have the right politics, given the industry he's in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. He's doing Void Rebel. So far, Void Rebel has not gone that way. Now, some might complain, well, the guy, is the main guy in it. He's kind of a pushover where the girl is a badass. And honestly, there some people don't like that. That's Ryan Reynolds' character, and pretty much he does every movie he does. The girl is more badass than he is, and it's nothing new. That trope's been going on since the early 2000s. Some people don't like that when the girl is a badass and the guy is kind of a pushover. But it's a trope.
The guys that read comics that used to read comics that got kicked out of the hobby, they love strong women.
Yeah.
But they like it when the men are just as strong, or a little stronger, because that's because, again, like I said, it's every boy's dream to rescue the damsel in distress. That's the basic. That's what it kind of all comes down to. I mean, Superman saves Lois Lane. If you wanted to, if you just want to, break it down to its simplest form, and obviously, there's infinite amount of storytelling you can take from that, but all the things you can't do anymore is what kind of hurts this industry.
So, perfect example is, like I said, Ryan Reynolds does, and he does it for comedic effect. It's not because he's trying to promote women are strong, badass. It's just that it's going against the trope where the guy rescues the damsel, where this time the guy is the damsel, and he does it, out of humor.
Well, that's
that's what
Rocketeer.
Yeah,
I learned after I went nuts on that a couple series ago. That was my ignorance showing that that's kind of been the Rocketeer from the beginning.
Yep.
And so that's fine, but I don't want to see Lois Lane become Superwoman and have to save Clark.
Exactly, but
Kal-El or Smallville.
I would rather her, like, the way she handles stuff is being a journalist.
Yeah,
she fights the battle. She fights the fights that he can't fight.
I don't want to see Mary Jane as Jackpot. I don't want to see Lois as Superwoman. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Linda Park as, the Flashette.
Yep.
Yeah, we're the only reason why we're not there yet is we haven't gotten a link yet. One slick.
So I will hop over there and I'll start handing out the links to everybody. Everybody gets a jack links tonight. I agree with you though. With Lois Lane, the way she protects her man, not by fighting crime, she does it what she normally does best.
Yeah,
going and getting the scoop, and Superman has to rescue her, or she shows up someone like Lex by with doing journalism. That to me that's more important. Clark is we read that other book. What was that book called? Pine and Merrick, where the husband and wife team. He is the brute. She's she's the reins. And they work perfectly well. They respect each other, and that's all I need.
And she made a deal with the devil.
Yes.
Not to end the marriage.
No.
But anyway, let's wrap this up and head over to the Isle of Comics. And if he doesn't show up, we'll just stream there.
All righty, guys. We'll see you in a few minutes. over on I Love Comics for some independent horror books rankings.
Yes.
Yes, later, guys.